with a former WCW star dispelling the rumor of his passing and more. This is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Revealing this about the recent match between Rhea Ripley and Natalya, it was reported that Fightful Select heard from higher-ups during WWE Raw on July 3rd, who were very happy with the gritty nature of the Natalya vs. Rhea Ripley match. In fact, one was in contact with us to tell us it should be the first thing we watch when traveling back from Money in the Bank. Both women were said to have taken a real beating during the match and laid in strikes, and ended up very happy with the match, the reaction backstage, and online. Ripley got her mouth busted open, but we've heard that both women backstage told others how much fun they had. Taking to Twitter, Anthony Bowens said this about breaking a world record at the upcoming All In event in London. Hey UK, maybe we should set a Guinness Book of Records for largest group scissor? Mentioning the run of Gunther as Intercontinental Champion in WWE, Wade Barrett told the Run-In with Ariel Helwani, "Gunther is a complete phenom, to be honest with you. I think if he didn't have the Intercontinental Championship, I think we'd already see him competing with the likes of Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns for the World Championships. But I think he's in the build still. I think he's in a really good position. I just think that there's not a single weakness to his game." Despite his release from WWE, it appears that Tyler Breeze is still being paid by the promotion, with it said that Fightful Select has learned that Tyler Breeze has been under a deal with WWE specifically tied to the Up Up Down Down brand for quite some time. We have not learned if the deal has any wrestling provisions or restrictions associated with it, outside of a WWE source saying that it does prevent him from appearing on AEW programming. Breeze's return to the ring was announced for Prestige Wrestling for September 1st. Those we spoke to put over Breeze's investments outside of the ring, saying that he was several steps ahead of his wrestling career as far as preparing himself for life outside of it. Specifically, he helps run flatbacks to train wrestlers and made several smart real estate investments. Speaking about his dealings with health issues, Jim Ross said this about potentially returning to his commentating duties for AEW, saying on his Grilling JR podcast, "I'm feeling pretty good. I'm getting better every day. I just had a string of bad luck, health-wise, which is very unusual for me because, knock on wood, I've been very blessed with good health. But when you get to be 71 and you're trying to live a young man's life and a young man's business and going on the road every week, it can get very challenging." So that's kind of what I found myself in that situation. But what happens was, it's a hell of a story. At least it was for me. I got up, and not unlike a lot of other people, I had to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, so I hopped out of bed to go to the bathroom, and apparently I tripped over my CPAP cord. When I did, I fell face first into the end table next to my bed, and the corner hit over here somewhere. So I had a huge knot immediately. Eyes swelled shut almost immediately, but I was so sleepy and so out of it that I just got back in bed. I think I actually went to the bathroom. Mother Nature won that match, and then I got back in bed. The next morning, when I woke up, that was my flight out to Chicago to do that first show Collision, and that's all I was thinking about. I woke up and I had a bad-ass headache. But okay, a headache ain't gonna keep JR out of work. But I had a bad headache, which was a result of the concussion, and my only thought was, I gotta finish packing and get on the road. That's kind of what I did, but I was very unstable. Everything was very foggy, and I'd have been better off staying at home, but hard-headedness and being stubborn, I felt like I had a commitment that I'd made that I wanted to fulfill. So I got dressed rather slowly, and my driver, he knows if I'm not standing there ready to go to come upstairs where I live, but I was downstairs waiting and on a little unsteady ground and flew to Chicago. As the day went on in Chicago, my voice kept going in and out, and I don't know what the hell that was. I thought, well, I'll get over it. I'll drink a lot of hot tea or hot coffee or hot something and make that work for me. But it was just too much to overcome, and I apologize for how I sounded. I didn't intend to sound that way. I didn't want to sound that way, and I know I disappointed a lot of people. I disappointed me. I don't think it made anybody in AEW real happy how I sounded, but I was doing the best that I could. So after that show was over, I went back to the announcer's locker room where we all dress, and I sat there for a little bit and I thought, man, I can't keep doing this. I don't feel good. Something's not right. I got here, I did the best that I could, but boy, I need to get home. So good old Raphael Morphy, who's taken care of me so much on the road over the years, helped me get back to the hotel. I tucked myself in and I didn't even get undressed that night. I wanted to make sure I could not waste any time making the flight the next morning. So I flew home, headache and all, and I've been here ever since. I've been out of the house a few times to go to the grocery store, maybe 2 or 3 times in the last few weeks. Other than that, I've got people that are helping me get groceries or whatever I need, prescriptions, things like that. But I was too unsteady to drive, and sure as hell too unsteady to walk around a grocery store. So I had my housekeeper buy me a little cane, which I'm embarrassed to say I've used a little bit, not outside, but here in the house to help me get around so I don't have any more falls. I was very lucky I woke up. I was very lucky I didn't bleed out, because I had a lot of blood on my pillowcases. I had to fight through it, and I've been fighting through it ever since. The concussion was one issue. I'm working on our book. I got a manuscript here that we've written, and I've been trying to get to it to read it, but I haven't been able to see good enough out of one eye. So I'm getting back on that track. I'm trying to get caught back up on that deal, but as far as going back on the road, I don't have a return date. Tony Khan's been very nice as far as take all the time you need, and if you want to take several weeks off or the summer off, whatever you'd like to do, just get healthy. So I appreciate the fact that he's being patient with me and that he is encouraging my good health, because that's really the main thing, and it gives us all an eye-opener. There's nothing more important than our health. So many times we take it for granted, and I have for years. So I'm going to be a little bit more aware of my health. I'm going to be a little bit more aware of how I take care of myself, but in the meantime, I've been here at home. Talking on the Ring the Bell podcast, Alicia Fox revealed when her WWE contract ran out, saying, "I knew that there was a date in April coming that my contract comes to an end. It was like April 25th or something this year, and it was kind of this waiting pattern that I used to already having like, well, they'll call me when they need me. They'll call me when they need me. Whatever. One day, a fan tweeted me a picture of that Legend shirt, and I had like a little head on there. I was like, why is my head on that shirt? You're gonna Legend me up? That's not even fair. I got a phone call and they're like, are you retired? I got my first match. So sure, okay, whatever. We'll go to the firing date. This whole time I'm nervous I'm gonna get fired, right? It's sad that there was no communication towards the end, and I can't go on my own social media and say, what? I thought maybe my release date. They would give me a statement of support saying, well, she gone. No, nothing. I don't know. I just felt bad, you know? I felt sad for every miscommunication or something. During that same interview, Alicia Fox said this about getting heat over injuring Beth Phoenix. I remember hearing that rumor, so I can agree with that. I don't know if that was what stopped my career. I and her have never talked about the incident, so I never knew any of that stuff. I don't know. When asked about wanting to join Mercedes Mone in New Japan Pro Wrestling, Bayley told Inside the Ropes, I think what she's doing is incredible, but I don't know if I'd be able to do it. That Japanese style is intense. I'm a little too old for that. She can go ahead and do all that. She's braver than I am. She's way more athletic than I am. So she can do all that stuff, and I'll support her the whole time. If something were to happen and I was able to go experience different things like that, we'll see. But right now, my body will say no. Touching on his table spot with Ricochet from Money in the Bank, Logan Paul said this on his podcast. You saw there was a botched move in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. There was a botched move with a dangerous landing. I walked away this time relatively unscathed. I got some scrapes and bruises, but no major tweaks or pulls, but Ricochet and I were supposed to do what's called a Spanish fly off the top rope. So one of our legs is on the rope, one of our legs is on the ladder, and we were supposed to hit it at the same time. And when we hit that rope, it was before me, so he moved it, so I slipped down all the way to the bottom. Keep in mind, I'm a noob. I don't really know what I'm doing out there, so when stuff goes wrong, I don't really know how to improv. So in my head, I'm like, how is this guy? This is effed. We effed this up. How is this guy gonna do this? Is he even gonna do this? Our legs are all twisted up like this. I'm looking at him. I'm like, oh, this MFer is still trying to send me this. I'm not even ready. His feet aren't even planted. Off the second rope, just hawks a backflip. I'm like, all right. Went crashing through the tables, scraped my shoulder. I hit my head on the thing. I'm fine, no concussions or anything, but it's just a wild sport, man. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna be honest. He blew the match for me. That's why we got into it backstage. I got into a little tussle with him. I don't know, bro. I felt like he was a little unprofessional. As he is currently dealing with a stalker situation, Ryback has been threatened multiple times by this man, so he has decided to post details about him, writing, "We have all of the information on Brandon Chase Salahinasa. We are waiting on Twitter to finalize things with the FBI. I have known who he was since early last week, as I've kept the majority of my cell phones over the years, and him recounting how we met on my Ryback show triggered my memory on my own cell phone in Tampa. It's been a week since you've been subpoenaed. Please give them the rest of what they need ASAP. He is being tracked and followed in the meantime until the FBI can make the arrest and proceed. This individual is highly dangerous and mentally unstable with a criminal background. He currently resides in Alabama and is 33 years old. We will do everything we can to keep him locked away as long as possible and hope he gets the help he desperately needs." The FBI was alright with me sharing this public info as well, and I personally apologize for everyone who had to endure the multiple hours of this guy on my show. BM Police, thank you. Tomorrow will be a very good day. With Chris Jericho and other professional wrestling stars sending their condolences to the family of WCW star The Gambler Jeff Gann, the man himself appeared on Talk Is Jericho to dispel the rumor of his passing, saying that, "To my knowledge, there was a gentleman by the name of Russell Stallings that was using the name Gambler. He's the one that passed away. Condolences to his family. It's a sad thing, but I'm glad it wasn't me." And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.